Oh my god. Okay, wow. Oh god, okay, so I just woke up and, well, let's say that I went to check my account and I still can't comprehend the fact that we hit 100K. How did I do it? I just don't, how? What? I have 100K followers and I was kind of disappointed that I missed, like, the time where it changed to 100K, like exactly 100K. But you know what? It's fine. I'm still super happy and, like, just surprised. Like, it all went so fast and I can't believe I'm already at 100K. It's amazing. So, thank you guys so much for everything. And I still can't believe people actually like to look at my videos, especially 100,000 people, which is crazy. You guys actually like my content and, like, my videos, my relatable stuff. And it's, like, kind of scary to me. But it's crazy and insane, and thank you so much, guys. I love you all, and it's crazy to think that this journey has, like, been so long, and, like, people actually find me funny. Well, I'm not. I don't know if people do, okay? I don't know if y'all even like me, but you watch my videos and you support me, and that's really all that matters. So, thank you so much for everything. A lot of people have been asking me for a voice reveal, and I already did one when I hit 10K, but my new followers haven't seen that yet, so I'm gonna do another one. So, maybe my voice even changed since then. I don't know, but 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, so this is my voice. Yeah, here it is. So please don't, like, judge me or my voice. It's kind of the reason why I speed it up. But, so, yeah, I don't really know what to say, honestly, but
just thank you so much for everything. I can't believe it. Still can't believe it. Thank you guys. I'm probably going to be doing a meet and greet or a giveaway, like a meet and greet on live and stuff. I'll tell you guys all about the details later, but I just want to say thank you so much. Bye!
New trend. Stop recording when it says your country.
Brought to you by Yakko Warner.
United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru, Republic, Dominican, Cuba, Caribbean, Greenland, El Salvador, too, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Venezuela, Honduras, Guyana, and still Guatemala, Bolivia, then Argentina, and Ecuador, Chile, Brazil.
Okay, so sometimes I just don't understand my life. Like, I don't get it. I think I'm living my days backwards. Okay, sorry, I'm confusing you guys. But basically what I mean is, like, I be, like, the whole day, literally so asleep. I'm exhausted. I have no idea, but I'm exhausted all day. I can barely keep my eyes open. Like, I can, like, the whole day, okay? And then I get home, and, you know, it becomes the night, and, you know, I'm still tired, because I'm, like, not exactly in bed yet. I'm just, you know, watching movies or whatever I do. And then when I actually get into bed, like, when I want to get into bed, when I want to sleep, I get into bed and I'm wide awake. I'm suddenly poof, all my tiredness is gone and I suddenly have energy again. And it's like 12 a.m. in the night. What? What is the logic? I don't understand the logic of this, because it's like living your day backwards. Like, the whole day you're tired and in the night you're, like, super awake. I don't know if it's just me, but I literally hate it, because I'm suddenly wide awake now and I'm just sitting there thinking about the most random thoughts on earth. While the whole day I'm literally exhausted, not doing anything, barely, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. I hate it. Oh my god. Okay, guys, so I don't know if this is just me, my attitude problems, this generation, or the parents and the adults. And so I'm basically just doing my chores, whether it's doing the laundry, the dishes, cleaning my room, vacuum cleaning the house, studying, you know the deal, you know, just chores in general. So, and that is, by the way, quite rare. I mean, I do them, but this time I take the initiative to do it myself without being reminded or told to do it. I just do it myself, okay? And that's, like, very, you know, girl boss, you know, productiveness, and I'm feeling good about it. I'm like, yes, I am doing this, you know, without being reminded to. So I'm doing it, and it's great and everything. And parents, they have the audacity to slightly, like, they're in a rush, they're doing something, you know, I understand that, but they're, like, slightly opening the door, but, like, poking their head out of the creak of the door. Hold up. Whatever. So they're poking their head out of the door, and it's slightly open, barely. And they just remind you, they're like, yeah, Selena, don't forget to do this, don't forget to do your dishes, don't forget to do your laundry. Like, what? I'm doing it right in front of you. Sir, if you could take one step forward into my room, you would see. I mean, I get it. Like, they're used to reminding me because, like, I don't do it that often. But still, is it that hard to walk into the room and see me doing the chore, and then when they remind me again, I don't know why. It's not their fault, but it annoys me. It ruins the mood. Like, now I don't feel like doing this anymore, thank you very much. I just don't feel like doing the chore anymore now that they reminded me when I'm literally doing it in front of them. And I decided to do it. So I don't know why it annoys me so much. It's like, I think it's just me. It's probably just me and my attitude problems. Because, yeah, that's something that I really hate. By the way, guys, thank you so much for 80K. Oh my god, 80,000 of you guys. This is like amazing. I can't wait until we hit 100K, and it's just this whole journey has been like amazing, and thank you guys for always supporting me. So just thank you so much.
Okay, if you play Roblox, then send this to your parents. Oh wait. Hey parents, so as you know, your child plays Roblox, and there's a reason they sent you this video. They were wondering if you can get them Robux. Now, before you say no, they have been really good, and whenever you ask them to do something, they do it right away. And they really, really wanted to change their avatar and get new things, because otherwise they'll always look the same, and it's a bit boring, don't you think? So, I advise you to get them Robux. They will be very, very grateful, and they'll be able to customize their avatar and get new things. And between me and you know they deserve it. You can't deny it. They really, really deserve it. So, I advise you to get them some Robux. Again, they'll be super grateful and really happy. But yeah, and if you say no, why are you saying no? You know they deserve it. They are such good kids, and all they want to do is change a bit of their avatar. It's not anything bad. Anyways, bye.
Replying to people's comments, part 2, because why not? What made you famous? Okay, first of all, I'm not famous. And second of all, now that I think about it, I have absolutely no idea. Like, I have no idea how I got to where I am. But you know what? That's the fun of it. Put me in a video or I will eat my foot. Damn, bro. Kind of regret putting you in a video because I kind of wanted to ask you if it tasted good. I love sushi too.
Colors, be who you are, for your pride.
I have nothing to say but bread. Okay, what is it with you guys and bread? Like, I'm not even joking. Like, it's concerning. What is it with you guys and bread? What is so special about bread? I don't even know. I'm not clumsy. The floor just hates me. The table and chairs are bullies, and the walls get in my way. Girl, just push them back.
Working on a Grammy, meanwhile, pussy popping with your man in Miami.
I'm not a normal girl. I'm a chipmunk. Oh my god, I just found my twin. I'm single lady, I'm single lady, I'm single lady, I'm single lady. Me, awesome, laughing emoji face. My dad. Oh. Okay. My soul, my face, my food, me right now, my dad, my mom, my brother. Oh, I swear to God, if I see this comment one more time. You know what? Never mind. How are you? Okay, I just had a seizure reading that. Please don't do that to me ever again. I forgot you were a thing. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because, like, I didn't post in, like, 3 months. So I respect that. Lol. Yeah, very lol. You know, laughing old loners.
They laugh at me because I'm emo.
Story time about when I was 9 years old and was playing in the park, but then soon got rushed to the hospital. So we had just finished school, and I was in the school's park with my friend. We were like best friends at the time, and we used to love hanging out there together after school. My mom and her friends would also stay in the park, like sitting down on the grass having a picnic all together. So we were just, playing in the park, having fun, and usually there was like this kind of cafe place that was like part of our school where you could buy food and stuff, drinks. So my friend went in there to get some popcorn. She told me to wait outside in the park. So I was just doing cartwheels because I loved doing them at the time, and then I suddenly tripped over this rock and fell onto this metal kind of little bar thing that was like right next to the entrance of the park. So that day I was wearing this skirt with some tights under it, and when I tripped at the time, it hurt, but it didn't hurt that much. Like when you first trip, like it's kind of a shock more than it actually hurting. So I was just like about to stand up going for my day, and I realized I literally couldn't stand up. Like my knee hurted so much that I was practically jumping with one leg, holding onto the rails of the fence.
See, at this point I was a little concerned, but not that surprised, because usually tripping would hurt. Then this older guy asked me, like, are you okay? Because he saw me limping. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, because I thought I was fine. But I wasn't. I went over to my mom, barely being able to walk, and she stood up quickly and asked me, like, what's wrong? And the tights that I was wearing were, like, really dark blue. It could almost look black, so you couldn't really see all the blood that was dripping from my knee. Now I was starting to get a little scared because it was kind of starting to hurt more. So I quickly went to the toilet and put my tights off so I could see my knee. And it looked like a waterfall of blood. I obviously started panicking, and so did my mom. So she quickly carried me and ran to the school nurse because I couldn't walk, so she carried me. And as you probably know, the school nurses aren't much of a help. So when we got to the school nurse, this time she didn't actually tell me to put a pack of ice on my knee. But she told us she put this plaster over it. Obviously, that didn't help. Then this other doctor came over and we told her what happened, and she told us to go straight to the hospital. What happens next is something I will probably never forget. I'm really sorry to be this person, but I'm running out of time, so come back for part 2.
Hey guys, so sorry if I sound a bit weird. My whole family has COVID right now, so yeah, we're just hanging in there, Anyways, yeah. So what I wanted to say was, I just got a good idea, and I just wanted to do this for fun because, why not switch up a bit? So I made a spam account, and I want you guys to try and find the account. So what I'm gonna do is whoever finds the account first, whoever comments on the first video on that account, because I posted a video on the spam account. Whoever comments, this is her account, I'm sure, and whoever's the first person to find it and comment that, I will duet this video and say who the winner was. And then that winner will get a follow back from me. The point is not really about winning, it's just I wanted to add that, but I just want you guys to try and find the spam account, and I'm going to give you guys some hints. So, first hint is that the account, it has 4 followers, the username has something with spam in it, so just try look for that. And I'm only following one person on that account, which is this account, Stories with Selena. And then also it has one video, and it's kind of like an editing video, it's like a video with an edit. So whoever finds it first will get a follow back from me. And honestly, I just want to see if you guys can actually find this account. And if I see that it's kind of hard and you guys are struggling to find it and nobody's found it yet, in a while, I'll add more hints. But anyways, I don't know why I wanted to do this. I just thought it could be a fun idea. So yes, guys, start looking, and yeah, we'll see how it comes. Bye.
Storytime of how my best friend was catfished by my dad. So me and my best friend were kind of just swiping through Tinder for fun. And then she came across this really, really hot dude. So of course, she swiped right, and they talked all night long. And he said he had an Android, so he couldn't FaceTime, but his messages were blue, so I thought something was off. She was too blinded to see that something was up in the first place because she was messaging with a really hot guy. So about a week of them just texting back and forth and I guess getting to know each other, they decided that they were gonna meet up. So they both decided that they were gonna meet up at an Olive Garden near them. And you see, as her best friend, of course, I'm gonna have to go with her. So I got dressed up and I sat about 5 tables away from her. And we got there about 30 minutes earlier than we were supposed to be there. Okay, so my best friend had 3 bowls of fettuccine alfredo before he got there. So when he got there, it wouldn't look like she ate a lot. Then I see my dad walk in, all dressed up and fancy with a bow tie and everything. This story time just gets so much more funnier, so for a part 2. Part 2 of how my best friend was catfished by my dad. Continuing with the story, I see my dad walk into the restaurant all dressed up. Mind you, my dad's married. To my mother, of course. So I was like, ooh, my dad and my mom are finally going on a date together. And then he looks over to my best friend and walks over to the table. When I tell you my heart dropped, my heart has never sank so deep inside me so fast. He sits down and asks her, is this Mackenzie? When I tell you I busted out laughing so freaking hard I fell out of my chair. And almost everybody in the restaurant turned around and looked at me, and so did my dad. And I walk over to the table and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? My best friend is literally just sitting there in shock, no emotion on her face. Then he looks at us, he looks really confused, his face goes blank, and then he goes, I was just trying to teach y'all girls a lesson. I told my mom and I was just getting a laugh out of it, and then she looked through his phone and said that he was meeting up with a bunch of 14-year-old girls. So comes to find out, my dad is a pedophile. My mom kicked him out, and if you're one of those girls, I really do apologize.
So when I was a sophomore in high school, I had this teacher who would only let the students in her class use the restroom one time per semester. Well, one day I raised my hand and I was like, excuse me, I don't remember her name, can I please use the restroom? And she was like, no you can't, because you've already used the restroom in my class this semester. Well, excuse me, you can't dictate my bladder. So I'm like all frustrated, and I started secretly texting my mom because I wasn't allowed to use my phone in class. And I was like, Mom, I'm sitting in class right now, my teacher won't let me use the restroom. And she was like, I'll take care of it for you. And I was like, okay. So like 5 minutes goes by, and all of a sudden my teacher's phone starts ringing, and she walks up to it and answers it, and she's like, hello? Yeah. Okay, thank you. And then she walks up to me like so angry, and she like slams the pass on my desk, and she was like, since you have to go that bad. And I was like, yeah, I really do, thanks. And I got up and left. I didn't even have to go to the bathroom. It was just the principle of it. I just roamed the halls.
This is a story of the time that I caught my neighbor's mom talking smack about me. So I don't know about you guys, but every single Wednesday in my middle school, we would have a bagel sale. And some people's parents would come in to help out. And my neighbor's mom was one of those parents. And I had a best friend at the time whose mom would also work at the bagel sales. But this best friend of mine, her mom never let us hang out with each other because she felt that I was a bad influence on her. When in reality, it was the complete opposite. She was the one that snuck the boys in her house, if you guys remember that story time, where they peed in a flower pot. So basically her mom wouldn't let us hang out. And sometimes my friend would go with her mom in the morning, basically as a ride to school, and to help out with the bagels too. And one day when she went in with her mom, my neighbor's mom also was there too. So my friend starts eavesdropping into their conversation, and my friend's mom brings me up and says how much of a bad kid I am and a bad influence. And my neighbor's mom was like, oh wow, that's my neighbor, like we always suspected something bad about her, our whole entire neighborhood knows this about her, basically making stuff up about me. So then I go home crying, tell my mom. Part 2 of catching my neighbor's mom talking smack about me. So my best friend tells me all these things that my neighbor was saying about me, obviously. And I got really upset, so I went home and I just started to cry. Because for some reason I felt like when I was younger, every one of my friends' parents hated me. And I never really knew why. I was always the type of person to like let my friends do whatever they want and encourage them in doing whatever they want, whether that's breaking the rules or following the rules. So I mean, I guess that could be something, but I'm just being a supportive friend, like... Sorry, I got off topic. So when I told my mom, she was like, okay, come with me, I'm gonna knock on her door. And I was like, heck no, I do not feel like dealing with this. Mom, you deal with it. So she calls her up on the phone, puts her on speakerphone, confronts her about the situation, and this lady starts going on about how she loves me like I'm her own child, saying that I was never a bad influence on her daughter, and that she actually wanted me to hang out with her daughter more. Like, that's not what she was saying at bagel sale.
This boy lied about his age just to date me. Story time. So back when my cute self was a senior in high school, there was this new girl that came to our school. Long story short, me and her ended up becoming super close. I went to her house, spent the night, her family loved me. I mean, why wouldn't they? Anyways, she had a brother. We're gonna call him Binky. Me and Binky got pretty close. Now I want you guys to keep in mind, Binky didn't go to my school because their parents were divorced. So the sister who I was friends with lived with her mom, and Binky lived with his dad who lived in another city. But sometimes Binky would go to his mom's house, which is how I met him. Now that we got that out of the way, as me and Binky were getting closer, one day he asked me, hey, how old are you? And I was like, oh, I just turned 17. How about you? He told me, oh, I'm 17 too, but my 18th birthday is coming up. After a while, me and him eventually started dating. Then one day, I ran into his cousin who happened to go to my school. The rest of this story is crazy. This boy lied about his age just to date me. Story time. So I ran into his cousin who just so happened to go to the same school as me. What a small world. Anyways, we start having a conversation and she asked me, oh my God, are you dating Binky? And I was like, oh, how do you know that? Because at the time, I didn't know that she was his cousin. And he didn't go to the same school as me. So I didn't know how she would have known that. And then she tells me, oh, that's my cousin. As we're talking, she says, oh, are you gonna go to his birthday party? And I'm like, no, he actually didn't tell me he was having a birthday party. Weird. And she's like, yeah, that's really weird because it's like coming up next week. And I'm just sitting here like, well, maybe he'll tell me. He probably just had a lot on his mind. And then she says, I can't believe he's gonna be 16 already. Time flies. We're gonna throw him a sweet 16 party. After she says that, I just look at her like, you mean 18, right? Like, you said 16. I think you meant 18. Sorry, there has to be a part 3. This boy lied about his age just to date me. Story time. Part 3. So his cousin starts talking about I can't believe he's gonna be 16. And I look at her thinking I'm tripping. Like, you said 18, right? Like, you didn't mean 16, you meant 18. And then she's like, no, I meant 16. So that's when I found out he's actually 16 or about to be 16. So I was 17 dating a 15-year-old. And I know a lot of you were like, oh my God, it's not really that much of an age gap. Listen, the fact that he lied about it is bad enough for me. Secondly, I would have been 18 and he still would have been 16, turning 17. But that's a little weird for me and I didn't want to catch a case. That's why I wasn't looking for a younger boy. After I find out this new information, of course I tell my best friends. And they start hyping me up, break up with him, which is what I did. I sent him this huge paragraph. I kind of went off. Of course, he replied to my paragraph saying, I'm sorry, I don't want to lose you, blah, blah, blah. I basically told him, sorry, I don't want to be with liar. I blocked him and haven't seen him.
This is why it's better to have one friend that you hang out with regularly instead of having a big group of friends. And trust me, you're going to want to listen to this story time. So when I was a sophomore in high school, I was kind of going through an identity crisis and low-key still am. I went to a predominantly white school for the majority of my life. So let's just say I was extremely whitewashed. It was one of those times in my life where if a white person said the N-word around me, I would just laugh. Not because I didn't know it was wrong, but because I wanted to be accepted and I wanted to be like everybody else and I seeked validation. Sophomore year was really when I started to become who I am today. I wanted to learn way more about my culture and my background. So I started becoming friends with people from other schools that are more diverse. Eventually, I met this group of girls. And I thought these girls were going to be the sweetest girls I would ever meet. Now, this friend group was serving flavor. I'm talking diverse to the T. One night, we decided that we were going to spend the night at one of the girls' houses. Let's call this girl Sally. I kept getting lost on the way to Sally's house, and I thought it was because I didn't know the area that well. Keep in mind, that's what I thought was the reason. I get there and we watch like 4 or 5 movies before I end up falling asleep. And when I wake up, I was in a room full of grown-ass men staring at me. Storytime part 2 of why it's better to have one loyal friend instead of a big group of friends. I forgot to mention in part 1 that when I arrived, the men were already there. Mind you, we were in sophomore year. These men looked like they were in college. So I was already a little thrown off, but I trusted it because I was with my friend. When I wake up, these men are like staring at me. But they try to look away really fast, but I could tell that they were staring at me. I start thinking the worst of the worst. I try to think of any possible way that I could get out of there, whether it was physically or mentally. So I pretend to fall asleep just to escape the reality of it. But then one of the men at the bottom of the bed starts rubbing my feet. I immediately kick my leg so I can get his hands off. Now I'm thinking he's gonna be mad and I'm gonna get fucking attacked. So I try to make small talk to loosen the tension. So I look at the guys and I'm like, hey, do you know where the girls went? One of them looks at me and says, oh, they went home. So I'm like, I thought this was Sally's house. And they say nothing. So at this point, I think I'm being set up. I try my best to not make it seem like I'm suspicious of them. I casually act like I need to pee. Walk into the bathroom and I see a window. Automatically something clicks in my mind, get the fuck out of there. Making part 3 right now. Part 3 of why you should have one loyal friend instead of hanging out with a big group of friends. So I go into the bathroom and there's a window. I'm thinking to myself, I would be so dumb. I would be so extremely incredibly stupid to go back into that room full of grown ass men that I've never met before. Instead of making my escape through that window right here, right now. So I trusted my gut and I got the fuck out of there. Mind you, I'm in my PJs right now. No shoes, no socks. I'm making my great escape. Call me Pablo Escobar. While I was doing all of it, I was in disbelief. Like, I cannot believe that I'm escaping, like, right now. Like, this is actually insane. Like, I did what I believed was right at the moment. And honestly, that decision might be the reason why I'm alive right now. So I make a run for it. I immediately run to the front of the neighborhood. I hide behind some trees and then I call my sister. I call my sister instead of my parents because my mom was the one who drove me there. And if she knew that something bad happened, she wouldn't have let me go out again. I'm frantically explaining everything on the phone to my sister. She literally speeds to come get me. When she gets there, I immediately hop in her car and we get the fuck out of there. On our way home, I get a text from Sally. Last part is part 4. I'm making that right now. Part 4 of why you should have one loyal friend instead of having a big group of friends. So I'm on my way home and I get a text from Sally. Hey girl, where are you? We went to the gas station to get some milkshakes. You could have came with, but you were already asleep. I didn't even respond. I just blocked all of them because I know damn well that they were not getting milkshakes. Because 1, why didn't they wake me up to get milkshakes? Because I wasn't the first person to fall asleep. I'd never fall asleep first at somebody's house with a big group of people. I saw somebody else who looked like they were sleeping, so I thought that I was going to fall asleep too. 2, why were all those grown ass men there? Nobody told me that they were going to be there. Like I said, we were sophomores. These men were in college. Maybe even graduated from college. They were grown. 3, why would she lie about it being her house? 4, why did the boy say she went home? I remember when I said I kept getting lost because I didn't know the area. Once I went back to look through the messages that I had with those girls to see if there was anything fishy going on, I noticed that they were all sending me different addresses. Either one number would be off or a letter would be off. They definitely were planning something because they were trying to get me there late. I haven't seen or talked to those girls since then.
I was doing my nail polish in my room when suddenly my boyfriend's head popped in from the window. Oh my goodness, what are you doing here? If Dad sees you, we're both dead. Just forget everyone. As long as we're together, we're gonna be okay. Do you trust me? I do trust you, my love, but just let me love you, and I will do everything to make you happy forever. I closed my eyes as he leaned in closer and closer. And cut! That's a wrap for today. Good job. But what about the kiss? Just then, Carson immediately let go of me and I fell on my butt. What the fudge? Hi, my name is Amanda, and I'm a famous teen actress from LA. Please like and subscribe before I continue. Being paired up with Carson, the most popular teen actor right now, was finally my chance to have a successful movie. But unfortunately, getting closer to him was harder than I thought. After our scene, he went straight to his trailer to sanitize himself as if I had some disease. I asked the director why our kissing scene was cut, and he told me that Carson requested not to have any. But why? One of the staff leaked that information, and the news circulated online in no time. Unfortunately, it reached our school too, and this gave Dakota, a fellow actress and my arch nemesis, another reason to pester me. Hey Amanda, I heard Carson doesn't want to kiss you. How does it feel to be rejected by him? Because I can't relate to that. Oh, that's because the last time he kissed someone on screen, he got traumatized. It was you, right? Suddenly, she burst out laughing. Oh, honey, everyone saw how much he loved our kiss. It was romantic and passionate, and that's why our movie became a huge hit with the box office of $2.786 billion worldwide. It also made me gain 10 million followers on Instagram, plus 5 million shippers on Twitter, and wow, okay, whatever. Why don't you just wait and see until my movie comes out? We'll see about that then. And now, I felt even more challenged. Later that day while I was driving home, a delivery guy accidentally bumped his motorcycle against my trunk. Could this day get any worse? I walked out of my car to check the damage and was shocked to see a huge scratch. My poor baby! Look what you've done to her! Are you blind, or did my car suddenly turn invisible? I froze when the driver removed his helmet. He looked so beautiful. It's just a little scratch. I'm sure your baby won't die. A little scratch? You ruined her flawless skin. Just try putting one of your beauty creams on it. Do I look like someone you can joke with? He just shrugged his shoulders and left. Why was everyone so extra annoying today? When I got home, I immediately told my sister/manager, Alice, about my problem with Carson. She was 5 years older than me, and we'd been living together in a huge, fancy apartment for the past 3 years. I talked to his manager about it, and he told me that Carson's not up for a fake relationship to promote his movie, and he just doesn't want kissing scenes all the time. Our movie will do 10 times better if people believe we're a couple in real life too, with real chemistry. But he won't even kiss me in the movie. What should I do? He's the bigger star here. You're the one who needs him, so why don't you try making him fall for you? It's gonna be easy. You're a goddess. Who would say no to you? She was right. I could get any boy I wanted, and Carson was not an exception. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Could you get it for me? I ordered pizza for the two of us. When I opened the door, I was shocked to see who the delivery boy was. It's you! I'm sorry, but do I know you? Hello? You just ruined my car a few minutes ago. Oh, the dramatic brat. I'm so sorry, but I don't have the time for a little chit-chat right now. Dramatic brat? He then just left the pizza boxes and left. This guy was unbelievable. Just a few days later, I was in a coffee shop when I noticed some women squealing over a guy. My world stopped when I turned to see his face. It was the pizza boy again. I walked up to him and said, "Are you following me? Because this is not a frickin' coincidence anymore. This is a serious case of stalking, and I'm gonna report you to the police." isn't it the other way around? I work here, so you're the one who's stalking me. Look, if you're a huge fan, just say so. No need to stalk me this way. I then took his phone and filled it with selfies and a video and gave him an autograph on a tissue paper. There. Are you happy now? Being a brat doesn't give you permission to take other people's things without their consent. So open the dictionary and search for the word respect. Want me to spell it for you? And with that, he deleted all my selfies on his phone and crumpled the paper right in front of me. I was speechless. I swore if I saw him again, I'd make him cry. I told Alice about him, and she just laughed at me. Maybe it's fate, the way you always run into him? More like bad luck. Well, is he cute? I paused for a second and imagined his face. To be honest, he was actually very, very attractive. But ew, no. He looks like a dinosaur. Okay, if you say so. I partied with some A-listers later that night, and when I got home, it was already midnight. As I walked up to my room, I suddenly bumped into something hard. It was definitely not Alice's chest. When I looked up, I almost screamed. It was that jerk.
What are you doing here?
Duh, I freaking live here. What are you doing here? Did you break in?
What? No, I'm your new houseboy.
What? First you're a pizza boy, then a barista, and now a houseboy? There's no way you can do all these jobs at once.
Oh, believe it or not, but I'm actually good at everything.
I then barged into Alice's room and yelled, "Of all the people, why did you hire that jerk? It was him I was talking about." Really? Fate is really something else. He also has hundreds of other jobs. We need someone who'll focus on us. Well, our offer is huge enough to make him quit all of his sidelines. He has an impressive resume, and I want to keep him.
Does his presence affect you that much?
Duh, of course not. Wait a minute. It was actually a good idea. If he worked here, I could easily get back at him for being so rude to me. The very next day, I learned that his name was Ross, and I started making his life hell. One time, I told him to cook me beef with broccoli and cheese.
There you go.
Oh, the beef looks kinda raw. Could you cook it a bit more, please?
Sure.
When he came back, I decided to tease him even more. Oh, I forgot. This is cheese, right? I'm lactose intolerant.
Sure, I'll remove it. It'll just be broccoli then.
Oh, these little trees. Poor Mother Nature. Some people are just so cruel.
Okay, I'll remove them too. Now, do you want to eat the plate or what?
Just cook me another dish, or maybe, just get me McDonald's. He looked like a volcano that was about to erupt, and I was enjoying it. I continued giving him the hardest tasks for the next several days, but he was always able to do them well. One time, I told him to separate the sugar, coffee, and cream from a 3-in-1 coffee, and make sure that my bubble baths have a 42 degrees Celsius temperature, and he did it perfectly. There was no way he was perfect. I had to find his weakness. It was the weekend, and I took him shopping with me. I made him carry all the bags and run all of the errands, and he silently did everything. Soon, I noticed how tired he looked, and I felt like a brat. Are you hungry? Where do you want to eat? My treat.
No thanks. I'll buy my own food using my hard-earned money rather than using your daddy's credit card.
Just to be clear, my parents are billionaires, but I choose to live independently with my sister and use my own money for my acting jobs. I work hard too. I then ignored him and walked away. It was already nighttime when we were done, and while he was driving me home, I noticed an old woman selling some flowers on the street. I told him to stop the car and went out to buy all her flowers and gave her a huge tip. Suddenly, I noticed a familiar girl walking suspiciously on the side of the street. When I looked closer, I realized that it was Dakota. I told Ross to park the car somewhere, and we both followed her. We walked to an alley and stopped in front of an exit door of a club. Suddenly, Carson stepped out of it, and she immediately sprung on him. Ross and I hid behind a huge pile of boxes and peeked at them.
Jeez, I told you to stop stalking me.
I'm not stalking you. I'm just following my heart. He pushed her away, but she started clinging to his leg like a pregnant snake. Date me, kiss me, love me. I'm begging you.
I told you, I don't like you.
But you kissed me and told me you loved me.
Duh, we were acting back then.
Let's make it real then. Oh my gosh, what a desperate witch! While I was taking a video of them, I suddenly tripped and fell on top of Ross. My world stopped as I gazed into his beautiful blue eyes.
Dude, are you planning to move? You're heavy.
Shh! I then got up and pretended that nothing had happened, but my heartbeat was in chaos. Now that I knew Carson wasn't into Dakota, I felt more confident about making him fall for me. So the next day during our filming, he was standing by the stairs, and I let myself fall on purpose so he'd catch me. But to my surprise, another person caught me instead.
You look so dumb doing that on purpose.
Ross, what are you doing here?
You forgot this. I also brought you lunch, just in case.
Oh, wow. That was actually sweet of him. Just then, Carson turned to us and he looked kind of mad.
Haven't seen this dude around on set before. Is he your boyfriend, Amanda?
No, he's not. Wait a minute. Was he jealous?
Ross stepped in and said, I'm her houseboy, so don't worry, man. She's all yours.
And with that, he just left. And I felt a bit annoyed at his indifference. But since then, Carson started treating me differently. He was talking to me more, and it gave a boost to our acting chemistry. Was he threatened by Ross? I knew it. No one could resist my charms. The next day at school, I was taking some notes from my locker when suddenly Dakota started talking loudly on her phone. Oh, hey Carson. Oh yes, I missed you too. Oh, you want to see my beautiful, perfect face later? Sure. I can't wait to see you too, my love. Just then, her minions started squealing like hyenas. Oh my god. So are you two like dating now? Wow. He told me he missed working with me. He's probably bored with his current movie girlfriend. I wanted to laugh. If only she knew that I had a video of her desperation, but I didn't have plans of leaking it. I wasn't that kind of person. Later that day, Alice told me to invite Carson out for dinner. There will be lots of paparazzi in this restaurant tonight. You guys need to stage a kiss or something. Luckily, Carson agreed, and while we were eating, I pretended to be totally into him. I delicately wiped his lips with a napkin, and I laughed at everything he said. When we got out of the restaurant, I decided that it was time. I closed my eyes, pouted my lips, and leaned in. But to my surprise, he deliberately stepped aside and I hit my forehead on the lamppost behind him. I looked so stupid as the paparazzi attacked me with their cameras. When I went home that night, I was really upset. Carson embarrassed me in front of everyone and my career was over. I sat on the poolside and just cried my heart out. Soon, someone offered his hanky and when I looked up, it was Ross. He sat beside me and just joined me in silence. And his presence was oddly comforting.
You can talk to me, you know. I promise. I won't be rude this time.
I just chuckled, and soon I found myself ranting to him. I've been trying to make it big, but success seems to hate me. Every movie of mine for the past 2 years has been a flop. If this doesn't do well, I'm just gonna quit. And I need stupid Carson for this one to be successful.
Maybe you don't. You're a very good actress, Amanda. Your talent is enough.
Then why do my movies always flop?
Success is not earned overnight. You're still young. Everyone has their own timing. Just continue doing your passion and your time will come soon. So cheer up.
I just looked at him in awe. Why did he suddenly become even more attractive right now?
I know I'm handsome, but stop staring. It's freaking me out.
I'm staring because I realized that you really look like a dinosaur.
What?
I gave him a teasing smile and left. The next day after school, I immediately looked for Ross, but Alice told me that he was in the hospital because his brother was sick. I went to see his brother, but when I got there, I was surprised to see him playing with a little boy and 5 little girls.
What are you doing here?
Alice told me you were here. You got me worried.
Don't worry. My little brother is fine now. He just had a bad tummy ache.
He then explained that he was the one who was raising all of his siblings for the past 10 years, and that's why he juggled jobs to send them all to school. I felt really bad for making work more difficult for him. To make up for it a bit, I invited all of them to go to the mall with me. I bought them new clothes and toys, and they looked so happy.
I'm gonna pay you back soon.
Don't worry about it. I just then felt his hand on mine, and my heartbeat started racing. He then turned to me and started leaning closer.
Big brother,
We want to play in the arcades. Ugh, why can't I get a legit kissing scene, even in real life? Ross then sat next to me as we watched the girls play. How do you manage all of these responsibilities?
When you're passionate about something, everything else just becomes easier.
You are indeed good at everything.
Actually, there's this one thing that I'm not.
What is it?
It's falling in love. I'm just not capable of it.
My mood instantly dropped. Was I catching feelings? I had to ignore them. But the more I tried, the more I thought about him. The next day, Carson surprised me with flowers and a teddy bear in my trailer.
I'm so sorry, Amanda. I feel so bad for what happened. I was so stupid. Please forgive me.
I understand that I'm not your type, but you don't need to act like you're allergic to me, you know? It's really insulting.
I'm not allergic to you. In fact, you're totally my type. Only if I was straight.
Wait, what? Did he just say that he was gay?
Keep this our little secret, and I'll cooperate with you with the fake relationship.
You've got yourself a deal, bestie.
Now that you're aware of it, mind matching me up with your cute houseboy?
Excuse me?
Relax, darling. He's really cute, but I don't have any plans of stealing him from you.
Shut up, you're talking nonsense.
If you say so.
The next day, he visited our school without any notice, and the girls went wild, especially Dakota.
I came here to see the most beautiful girl I have ever met.
Oh, stop it. You're making me cry.
Ew, not you, Dakota. I was talking about my movie and real-life girlfriend, Amanda.
He then winked at me, and Dakota looked like she was gonna have a stroke. News of us dating immediately spread, and I was ecstatic. But my happiness was instantly robbed when I went home. Alice gave me something that shook my world. Ross's resignation letter. But why? He told me that he was offered a cool job downtown, and the pay was huge. He quit without even talking to me? I tried to call him, but he wasn't answering my calls. I used to see him everywhere, but now I couldn't find him anywhere. Oh, the irony. A few days later, Carson and I had an interview for our upcoming movie, and he was trying to hold my hand, but it felt really weird. Carson must have felt my sadness, and when we were asked if we were really dating, he said something really unexpected.
Amanda and I are just friends. I really like her, and we tried it, but she likes someone else.
Suddenly, I felt brave. Yes, it's true. And to that person, I just want to say, you know who you are, and I really miss you. Wherever you are, please see me tonight. I'll be waiting for you at my favorite park. Everyone gasped at my revelation. Even I was surprised at my public announcement, but I had to follow my heart. Alice told me that my interview created a huge buzz online, and I was being appreciated for my honesty. And they couldn't wait to see my movie. You did the right thing, girl. Now go get him. I was so nervous as I waited for him at the park later that night. But even after hours, there was no sign of him. I'd almost given up when suddenly I saw him walking in the distance, and my heart leapt. I ran up to him and punched him in the stomach. I hate you. Do you know that?
I'm sorry.
Stop being cute and start explaining why you suddenly left.
I just thought you liked Carson, so that's why I quit.
It's you who I like, silly boy. But what can I do? You're not capable of loving anyone anyway.
I lied. That's not my weakness.
Then what is it?
It's you, Amanda. I've been a fan even before I met you. You're so beautiful and amazing, and it's driving me crazy because I'm just this poor boy and you're an unreachable star.
That was literally the sweetest thing that I had ever heard in my life. You're really cute.
No, you're cuter.
So are we just gonna keep arguing about this, or are you gonna kiss me? He answered me by grabbing my face and pressing his lips against mine. Finally, I got a kissing scene, and it was magical.